Hey guys, Ben, Fat Preacher Man here, and doing another talk about management, learning to lead. Wanted to talk today about the difference between the customer always being right and the customer always being the customer. Because the truth is that in any business, again, it doesn't matter if you and your people work directly with the customers, or you're business to business, or you're an online business, you have some type of customer base that you need to keep satisfied by your services or your product. So, understanding that there will be times where what is expected is not what's delivered. Now, if the customer's expectation is unrealistic or not based upon what is deliverable, then the customer will not be right. The customer will be misinformed. Telling the customer that is never going to be helpful. I can tell you that from personal experience. There's no point in trying to argue with the customer. There's no point in trying to over-explain. You as a leader, as a manager, if you hear, if you have a type of facility where you hear customers talking to your people and you can tell something's going wrong, never be naive enough to think you can walk past it. I'll let them handle it. If they're handling it well and the customer seems to be going along with it, that's one thing. But if you're unsure, if there's just that little bit of doubt, then give into that doubt and be ready to jump in as soon as possible with a positive attitude that both supports your employee, your associate, your under manager, and lets the customer know you do want to meet their needs, but at the same time is based in reality. We run businesses to make a profit, to make a living. There is no point in giving away everything to every customer. We're not going to make it as a business. That's my philosophy. If I was your owner, that's what I would teach you, that's what I would tell you, and that's how I support you. Now, we all work for different companies, we all work for different people, and some of them will tell you, after they've given you policies and things to stand behind, they will tell you to do it anyway, to give it to the customer anyway, even though that clearly goes against what was said beforehand. So, as a leader, standing there knowing what your company's policies is, knowing if they're going to break down, knowing if this person calls corporate, calls the owner, are they going to support you, or are they going to give in to this person's demands? Because if they're going to give in, don't humiliate yourself. Don't humiliate your cashier, your employee, your sub-manager. Just change right there the paradigm and let them know that even though it's incorrect, for whatever reason, don't have to make it being incorrect about them. It's incorrect, but we're going to do this for you. Now, if you know you have the final say, and you know that you'll be supported, and you know it's for the betterment of your business, and I'm talking about a real thing where you're really going to have, if you do it, it's really going to hurt your bottom line, hurt your reputation, hurt your people, then, stand up. But do so, again, in a positive way. Telling them they're wrong, not going to help. Find a way to let the customer know what you're my customer and I want to take care of you. But for example, it's not what this sign means. It's not what the coupon means. It's not what your contract means. Whatever the case may be, whatever their misunderstanding, do your best. I recommend to do your best to try to get them to see, as long as they're listening. Because there will come a point where a lot of customers stop listening. They're so angry, they're so fed up. That's why it's so important to intervene quickly. Because the longer they wait, the more they try to discuss it, the less patience they'll have when they get to you. And they may be taking out anger and frustration because they've already been trying to deal with it online or deal with it with somebody else. You don't know what the case is, so trying to just keep your hands out of it sometimes just makes the situation worse when you do have to deal with it. So realizing that the customer is always the customer, there will be some times where you have to say, you know what, it's okay to lose this customer. because, again, it'll hurt your business overall, it'll hurt your employees, it'll hurt you, the company's brand, whatever. We don't want to lose customers. When a customer, customers are the lifeblood of any business. But saying they're always right is ignorant. That's just some catchphrase some dorky person came up with to try to make people think that they thought customers were more important than they were. They never really felt that way. Nobody really believes that. And no matter how much a customer will say, well, the customer's always right. No, you're not. And that lots of customers are wrong. So, again, but don't argue the point. Instead, reinforce the idea that there's a reason why you can't just give in to their demands. And if the employee wasn't willing, we need to empower employees of all levels to be able to facilitate the needs and wants of customers, especially the angry, ones that are going to call on the manager anyway. And so if you're allowed to give them the authority, if they have to have a key or an override or a code and they're not at that level yet, then that's different. But if it's something that they can do and that just helps them get them out their face and continue on with their other tasks, other customers, then more power to you, more power to your employee, because that, again, lets them know that they're empowered because you're trusting them to take care of the customers. And then you can always counsel the employee afterwards. You never want to break down what happened with the customer right there, good or bad, what your employee did wrong or right. You want to talk to them in private once the customer's gone, not belittling the customer and not over exaggerating, no hyperboles. Just let them know why or why not things had to go the way they did, and what they could have done, if anything, to avoid it. What you expect from them, whether if they did everything perfect, let them know, hey, you did everything you could. There was just no way to avoid this. So hey, I'm proud of you. If they, if you hear them getting into verbal altercations, going the wrong way, and if if you can hear that it's their fault, then that's a total different thing. I always believe that no matter what the customer is doing, that your employees should be able to maintain their cool. And I think that they should try to keep each customer unless they cross a line and speak about, hate, race, sex, whatever. If they cross certain lines, then you have to set up that within your business and let your employees, know that, if they cross this line and they try to hurt you or they verbally assault you or they belittle you as a person because of whatever reason, we don't stand for that. That should just be something across the board. By the same token, you should never put up with that from your employees. Let them know that that's a terminable offense. But again, some of these things you may not have total control over, depending upon your level and what type of business you're in. Lots of businesses have a 3 strikes thing going on where you have to write people up for offenses and you have to counsel them and work it out if it's possible. Again, a lot of people nowadays have customer service lines. You call that in, and the customer service line, a lot of times, unfortunately, they don't even know what they're talking about. They read a script and they always think that everything should be fixed for the customer, not realizing that we're told there's certain things we're not supposed to do. So with that in mind, again, that's how you have to determine each situation using judgment, using skills that you're cultivating as a manager, that you want your team to cultivate. Again, got any questions, ideas, problems with what I just said, hit me up in the comments below. Check me out on Facebook, and check below for the links to the other videos. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a great day. Jesus bless you.